She was so beautiful they kept her in a glass coffin. Good thing, too. The prince wandered by and fell in love. The kiss did the trick again. One more prince taken. Lovely for them, but you see it creates a problem for us.
It's a problem, all right.
And what a problem it is.
Most perplexing.
The queen agreed. Princess April stood up.
I will go find a prince myself.
Find a prince yourself?
Unheard of.
Quite improper.
I'm sure I can. If a cleaning girl can find a prince, how hard can it be?
Well,
Said the king.
I've heard a prince or two might be left in the northern countries. You could try there, I suppose.
I will leave at once.
Said April, and so she did.
And what of you, May?
Asked the king.
Will you seek out your prince too?
I hope you and your mother won't mind terribly, but I'd really rather not find a prince at all.
Not at all?
Unthinkable.
Have you lost your mind?
No, not at all. I've never much liked being a princess. I prefer to be an ordinary sort of person and work in the gardens.
Well, I suppose 2 princes are enough for any castle.
Indeed.
Of course.
And there's a nice young man who works in the gardens.
Said Princess May.
I believe he would marry me if he said he could.
And so they did.
Well then, June, what of you?
Oh, I think I'll put an ad in the paper.
An
ad in the paper?
Cried the king, the queen, and the servants all at once.
I'm quite happy being a princess.
Said Princess June.
But I don't want the hassle of searching for a prince. Therefore, I shall put an ad in the Castle Times. The ad will read, "Wanted, a prince to marry, preferably handsome and rich, must be wise and kind. Apply in person to Princess June."
Well, it's worth a try.
Perhaps.
I'm sure it's not wise.
Sooner or later, a nice prince will answer my ad.
Said Princess June.
Until then, I'm quite content to wait.
Very well.
Said the king.
Write your ad.
And so she did. It was not long before Princess April returned to the castle with the German prince.
Now then, April, tell us how you found this fellow.
It wasn't easy, Father.
Princess April answered.
I traveled north until I reached the castle. A queen and her son lived in it. But they wouldn't even talk about marriage. Spend the night and we'll talk about it in the morning. The queen said. The room was nice enough, but oh, the bed. I needed a ladder to climb into it, and it was ever lumpy. I couldn't sleep a bit. I figured if, since I was awake and the prince didn't seem eager to marry me, I might as well move on. So I did, of course. It was terribly dark out. I could not see a thing. I ran right into a side of another castle. I rang the bell, and a horned beast came to the door.
A beast? A horned beast?
Shocking.
Extraordinary.
It was dreadful. You can be sure I didn't stick around to find the prince there. I ran away as quickly as I can in the dark. Suddenly I splashed right into a smelly pond. A poor frog talked to me, or at least he tried. He had a raspy voice, hard to understand. I was tired, frightened, and stuffed. I didn't have time to talk to a croaky frog.
That may have been a good time to try a kiss.
Ah, yes indeed.
Quite so.
A kiss? I never thought to kiss a frog.
Not to worry, my dear. You're a prince now. Do tell us how you got him.
Oh yes. In the morning, I wandered farther north. The snow was very deep. I was freezing, not to mention tired and hungry. I had almost decided to go home and let my prince find me. Then I saw him. He was tall, so handsome, and so marvelous that I almost didn't know he was made of ice.
Of ice? He was made of ice?
Remarkable.
Chilling.
Indeed.
Agreed Princess April, and her prince nodded and shivered.
He was enchanted, of course, by a wicked stepmother. You know how it is.
And you thought him out?
A kiss did the trick, just as you said. As soon as he stopped dripping, we hurried here to be married.
Everything is almost ready for the wedding. While you were away, we walked day and night to prepare for your wedding feast, balls, and gowns.
Gowns?
May has arranged to marry a young man who works in the gardens.
The king said.
In the gardens? May is marrying a gardener?
It's true.
And why not?
Of course, he isn't just a gardener. He's a prince as well. Wicked stepfather, curses, and all that. A kiss did the trick once more. We can have a triple wedding as soon as that suitable prince answers June's ad.
Ad? June placed an ad for a prince?
Most upsetting.
Quite distressing.
We've already been through this.
Said the king. Just then the bell rang. The servant shouted.
A prince.
Lower the drawbridge.
Princess June opened the door. She saw no one. Just as she turned to go back inside, she heard a very small voice laugh.
Hello?
The prince said, looking all around her.
Ah, tricked you, didn't I?
A very small man popped out of the crack between the paving stone. He was riding a mouse.
Oh,
Cried Princess June, backing away.
Tom Thumb at your service.
The little man said,
Oh, I'm here about the ad. May I speak to Princess June, please?
Why? I am Princess June, but I'm afraid you are not quite what I was hoping for. You're much too small, and I'm afraid of mice. I'm sorry, but you just won't do.
Oh, well, it was worth a try. I guess I'll be off. Good day.
Tom Thumb hopped in his head and waited.
Well,
the king asked when she came inside. Princess June shook her head.
It was a very odd little man, only as big as your thumb. His horse was a mouse. I doubt he's really a prince. Oh, there's the bell again. Perhaps this will be my chance.
The drawbridge was lowered again. Princess June opened the door and slammed it shut.
well,
So?
A kiss wouldn't help. Absolutely not. The ad must have gotten into the jungle times by mistake. It was a lion.
a lion?
Beastly.
I knew that ad was a mistake. Perhaps you're right.
Said Princess June, peeking out the door.
But the lion's gone now. And look, someone else is coming.
Man, I hope.
A tall and handsome man.
Please.
Princess June opened the door. The man was indeed tall and handsome, but he was not a prince.
I understand you are looking for a new gardener?
Actually, I'm looking for a prince to marry me.
The man was not a prince, but he was charming, kind, and wise.
Well, now, you are a very beautiful princess, and I would be delighted to marry you. Although I am not a prince now, I would be if I married a princess. Marry me, and you shall have your prince.
From behind the door, the king, queen, servants, and the other princesses said.
Take him!
And so she did.
The next day, the castle was full of flowers and wedding gifts. The 3 princesses were full of happiness. The king and queen were full of pride. The servants were full of relief. It was a marvelous wedding. The 3 princesses were stunning in their wedding gowns of silk, lace, beads, and jewels. The 3 princes were dashing in their wedding suits. The feast was delicious. No one hungry in all the land that day. The dance could not have been better, even though someone dropped a glass slipper. It was a glorious day. As the newlyweds kissed, everyone was certain that the 3 princesses and princes would live happily ever after, and so they did.
nicely done, group.